Goff plays the safer game, and he has the better players around him. So you would think you should trust him. He's also facing, the lesser of the two defenses,
right.
I believe. But I'm going to go with Josh. And I know, look, Josh has been reckless throughout his career. This year he's been better. But the reason I'm going with Josh is because for them to have a chance to win this game, he has got to be great. All right, Goff, that's not the case. And I think Josh has embraced that. So I think Josh, knows I've got to get it done virtually every game, and he's really embraced it. And like anybody, I think he wants the MVP. He knows he probably needs to play well tonight. I'm not saying they necessarily win, or not tonight, but Sunday. They win, but I'm going to go with Josh on this one.
The thing that makes me trust Josh now at this point is the way that he's protected the football. And the fact that he only has 5 interceptions this year is amazing. And then you have Goff with his one game where he's got the 5 interceptions. That's problematic. The fact that Buffalo has scored 30-plus points in 7 straight games. And when you look at Detroit, they've only scored 30-plus points 6 games total this season. So there's that element offensively. And I think you said that Buffalo has the better
defense.
Lesser
defense.
Well, I disagree with that based off of where all the injuries are. There's 18 guys on IR. They're missing almost half the guys on defense that account for their leading tacklers. So defensively, this is a huge opportunity for Buffalo, and they're also getting 2 offensive starters back in
Kincaid and Keon Coleman.
And Keon Coleman.
Yep.
So for this game, I'd lean Josh.
Yeah, I look at this matchup incredibly similarly to the one we just talked about. I look at Goff as this type of quarterback that is a mirror to his situation, and that can be in Detroit. That's great right now. It's great. He's not going to be dropped into a great situation and drag it down, but I don't think when things get off for him, he's going to be able to elevate. Josh clearly can. And Josh, to me, is one of the superhero quarterbacks in this league. Trust is a tough one because he is more likely than most quarterbacks to have the what the hell are you doing game, but you can't say he's more likely than Goff this season when, to your point, Goff had a 5 interception game that could have been an 8 turnover game if things went differently. And so this is a spot where I think the Bills have the decided quarterback edge. I think Detroit has the edge everywhere else. And defensively, I understand your point on the injuries, but I think Buffalo's defense is, I don't want to say smoke and mirrors. Buffalo's defense, to me, is a really good defense, except for against the best offenses. I don't think they have enough talent on the back end against the best offenses that can get exposed, and that's why we've seen the games, whether it was Baltimore that ran up the score on them, the Rams that ran up the score on them. Houston didn't run up the score, but they beat them. I think Buffalo's defense is really well coached, where I'll give McDermott credit. I think it has a good D-line. But if you have multiple good to very good receivers, I think you can really make hay on them. So I trust Allen more. I like Detroit in the spot.
Yeah. I was like, when I was queuing up the clips to see okay, what can we, what content can I create right now? I see, the bottom. I didn't watch the clip yet, but I see trust Allen or Goff more. And I'm kind of like, all right, how many different ways have we kind of had this conversation? Will Goff outduel Josh Allen? And it's will the Bills beat the Lions? Trust Allen or Goff more? And it's we keep trying to think of different ways how to have the discussion, but with different parameters around it. I think what's starting to happen, this is what it's my working thesis, my working opinion, is that now that we're deeper into the season, so many teams have lost optimism and hope and energy and bandwagoners. I don't even mean that necessarily in a negative way, but there's just less people consuming content for the maximum amount of teams, right? Let's say in week 3, week 4, you would have maybe had more people watch, more people interested in content around the Colts, the 49ers, and now that the Dallas Cowboys, probably the best example, and now that the seasons are not unfolding how they wanted to, it becomes well, people don't really want to talk about those teams or really, consume content surrounding it. And so now here we are, we have now 2 powerhouses, the Bills, the Lions, still definitely top popular teams in the NFL right now. And so we have to just keep having the same conversation in so many different ways. But in terms of, who do I trust, Allen or Goff more? It's 1,000%, 100%, undeniably, Josh Allen. I mean, if you want to say, again, this is where then you got to ask the question, like, how are we defining trust? Trusting that Josh Allen, trusting the quarterback to put themselves in a position to win, trusting that they can overcome a bad situation, trusting the quarterback to control the game and manage the game. It's like, where are we going with it? And if I don't know exactly what we mean by trust at any given moment, it's going to be Josh Allen. Josh Allen has to do more with less than Goff has to do. And again, I have praised and defended, and just the other day, I posted a whole long video all about Goff. Stop downplaying what Goff does. Stop it. Like, because Nick says that Goff, if he's in a good situation, he won't bring it down, but he doesn't do anything necessarily to like bring it up. And I make the argument, like, absolutely not. He makes a great situation even better. If you want to make the argument that Jared Goff would be more limited if he was in a bad situation, that he can't make a bad situation good, I'm open to that. But if you're saying that he can't make a good situation great or a great situation elite, that's where I jump off the boat and I'm like, I totally disagree with you. But that is where Josh Allen takes over, where he can make a bad situation good, a good situation great, a great situation elite. That is just that's like undeniable from my viewpoint. But yeah, I mean, I've never had a lack of trust in Josh Allen. When they say that Josh Allen is reckless or this or that, he's not just reckless for the sake of being reckless. He's not just, hey, I just want to throw the ball really far and deep and hard, and I want touchdowns, baby, let's go. Like, that's they act like he's just like a compulsive gambler, floating down the Mississippi. I mean, that's not what it is. Any of his recklessness outside of the very beginning of his career when he was being developed as a quarterback, it's kind of like, we gotta punch our way through this. We don't have a great team. We don't have the weapons. We don't have the ability to just play smart, strategic, and manage games. Like, we don't have that ability. So we do have to just go all in on whatever Josh Allen can do. And that's what it is. Josh Allen made some throws against the Rams. And technically, if they were ever so slightly off or the defense made a little bit better of a play, they could have been intercepted or batted down. And would we say he was being reckless? No, the dude had to do every single thing he could to put his team even in a remotely in the position to win. So again, any type of Josh Allen's recklessness has always been more about the game plan more than anything, and what they're asking Josh Allen to do in any given moment. So the real question should be is, do you trust, Brady the OC for the Buffalo Bills to make sure that Josh Allen doesn't have to be reckless to win a game against the Lions? Do you who do you trust more, Brady or Ben Johnson? So it's just like, I mean, I don't know. It's just this feels like almost like a futile conversation in a lot of ways, because I know you're going to have some big Lions fans be like, oh, Jared Goff, look at these stats. And, that's what they kind of showed early on. But again, you can check my history. I am a huge defender of Jared Goff. And when Jared Goff got signed to his big deal, I applauded it. Was over the moon when Nick tried to act like it was like a bad move for them. I was like, are you crazy? So I have been elevating. Why can't I find this? I have been elevating Jared Goff, but if you're going to compare Jared Goff to Josh Allen, it's just the answer is no, honestly. And there's just not much for a debate, as I cannot get it locked up. There it is, finally, now that I'm ending the clip. Because again, that's what they'll point to. They'll be like, look at the completion percentage, look at the total yard, look at the touchdown interception ratio, look at the passer rating. And it's like, you can't compare the rosters. You just can't. You can't compare the rosters, and you can't compare the coordinating either. It's just uncomparable. And, you know, the example that everyone always likes to do is, if you put the Goff on the Bills, would they be a better team? The answer is no, they would not. If you put did I say the Bears? Hopefully I said the Bills. If you put Josh Allen on the Lions, would they be a better team? The answer is an undeniable yes. And even if you're the biggest Jared Goff fan or a Lions fan, you should still be able to admit that. You should still be able to admit that. It's okay. Doesn't mean that you need a new quarterback. Doesn't mean that your quarterback isn't great. Doesn't mean that your quarterback hasn't been balling out and isn't worthy of all the praise that he can get. But, you know, Josh Allen is Josh Allen. All right. That's just the reality. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Josh Allen and, I almost said Brock Purdy, and Jared Goff? Who do you trust more? Because I guess that's the conversation we're having right now. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.